What is up? So basically, I want to just record and kind of see how this new mic is sounding, kind of what um, I'm going to go. I'm hoping that honestly it turns out really well. What I want to do is I'm going to start just talking about my journey, me getting sober, which even to this day still impacts me a lot. Um, I guess it's hard to explain without just jumping right into it. So, back in the day, which was about 3 years ago, um, I was, I guess, struggling with getting sick, not feeling good and stuff a lot. That turned into going to the hospital and always thinking there was something wrong with me. And to be completely honest, I had lots of different doctors and things talk to me in a way that kind of opened my eyes up, meaning uh what's the best way to put it? Like I had one doctor, I don't know his first name, but it was Dr. Jackson. He literally looked at me and he was like, if you continue to do what you're doing, you're gonna die. Now I get that it's not this big for everybody, to be honest with you. It's like this for me because I'm a type 1 diabetic and I have been drinking for a long time. Nicotine, tobacco, also, I used to chew, things like that. So I had a lot of these different habits in my arsenal, and it really just kind of created lots of health problems. Things like vascular issues, nerve damage. I have a lot of nerve damage in my stomach, which kind of sucks. But I mean, now, like looking at it, I mean, that's what it's from, you know? So that being said, um, I really am at this point a little over 3 years sober now from alcohol. Weed is completely different. We're definitely going to talk about weed a little bit through this, but not much. Nicotine and tobacco have been almost 3 years. This coming January will be 3 years. So that being said, the morning of June 6th, 2021, I was, of course, not feeling good. Um, and like even looking back now, I look back at pictures and stuff, and I even look like trash. Just ragged. I mean, my face, my hair, everything just looked terrible. And it has to be from alcohol. So then yeah, God, trying to just looking back at all these things, looking back at it, it's crazy to me. So yeah, then I went to the hospital. Um, I started, I guess, I don't know how you would word it. Doing the same thing I always did. I was basically dehydrated. Got there, wasn't feeling the best. Doctors told me, uh, when you go do stuff like that, you end up like looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like, this wasn't right. Like, I'm not gonna say they're lying to me, but at the same time, they're like, buddy, what are you doing? Um, Actually, I got some notes I'm gonna run through. Um, Kind of talk about a couple things. So that my blood sugar also right now is not cooperating. So if I seem a little bit off, that's why. I have a feeling my blood sugar is high, but we will check that here in a little bit. As soon as my sensor starts working, I drank too much coffee today. That's the issue, to be honest with you. Where's this page at? There it is. Um, so yeah, the uh the morning I quit drinking. So that was basically going. I was dehydrated. I wasn't feeling good. I started getting that vibe, from the doctors and the people talking to me and stuff, that they were just like, "You're here because you're hungover and dehydrated." That made me feel like shit for real. So, at the time that I was doing all this, I was landscaping. with a buddy. I also was working at the local drive-through, which probably definitely was not helping at both of those, to be honest with you. When you're landscaping and you're working all day and you're doing all these things, you get in the garage at the end of the day and you kind of crack open some Busch Light, things like that. So definitely not the best. So good. I'm obsessed with Sheets right now. It's amazing. Um, so yeah, I was landscaping, working the drive-through. I lived across the street from my grandma. Um, I was dating a girl who also, to be completely honest, was kind of in the mindset of, let's do better. I thought it was pretty cool. She called me out a lot about things, and it made me a better person in general. I mean, even when I thought I could jump back, I remember we were in her kitchen one day, and I thought I could jump back into, like, oh, I could probably handle it. And she literally looked at me and she was like, "You don't make good decisions when you're drinking." And I was like, "Fuck, you're right." So, um, good shit. Everything happens for a reason type thing. We're not together anymore. That was years ago, but she's still a great person. Um, so yeah, I was living across the street and all that. Kids were big for me at the time. I spent a lot of time with my kids. I was looking back at my pictures from that time, and I have so many pictures of um, my oldest, just her and her whole vibe, her smile. They're everywhere. And then like hanging out with my youngest and doing Legos and things like that. I mean, it's one of those things where it's not necessarily that I miss doing those things. It's that I could have done better with if I wasn't drinking. And I look back now and I'm like, okay, bet, like this is what's keeping me going. So I did smoke weed. I still smoke weed. I didn't stop smoking weed for a while. I also, when I got sober, I just didn't. I was taking care of myself, but I also just stopped caring about a lot of things, like my hair, for example. I let my hair grow out for a minute. Um, um, so yep, still working at the drive-through. My oldest daughter and me were super close. I know that I messed up um, with that. I'm actually in the process of fixing it now. I think about it all the time. It's not something at all I'm proud of. I don't mean to check my phone. I'm doing my blood sugar, take some insulin for it. Um, um, I put on here the fireworks. This is from looking through my pictures. The fireworks that we did were awesome. They just worked out so well. I really liked it. Um, I started getting smaller and looking more healthy. So that was only a month later, 4th of July. So if I quit on June 6th, then a month later, I was already starting to look a little bit more healthy and getting smaller, things like that. Small is definitely not the way to go, but when you're drinking whiskey all the time, you're definitely holding on to a lot of that sugar. So it was kind of probably just filtering out of my system, to be honest with you. Um, which there's nothing wrong with that. That was a good thing for real. Um, I'm gonna take insulin real quick now that this is starting to work again. I'm hoping that when I go back and listen to this or record it, that this new microphone sounds really good. It wasn't super expensive. It was only $30 on Amazon. Um, just for right now, just to see, based on the noise cancellation and things like that, see if it kind of helps out, which would be pretty cool. I hope it does. I think it will. It's my hope. I'm also not the best at being vulnerable like this, so I'm learning. So as these episodes continue to go on, I will get more vulnerable. I will tell you guys more things. If you have any questions or comments, or if you want to know something, just say it. Just ask in the comments. I 100% will answer you. That's one of the best ways I feel like to judge a situation and figure out what you want to hear or what you want to know is just by asking questions. It's honestly the best thing. Um, so what I want to get into now, or what I want to say, um, getting sober, I went to some concerts, which were fun. My kids were super important to me. We started doing a bunch of that stuff, which was also good. The um, I don't know the right word to say, but this is kind of when I started getting into issues with my hands. This part kind of sucked, to be honest. The issues with my hands turned into And I'll probably put some like pictures up or something when I go to do this, when I go to edit it and things. But the issues with my hands, like my fingertips started to die. I mean, if you look, like they've already cut this one off. So, and that was years ago. I ended up quitting nicotine and tobacco because of this, being such a vasodilator. I wanted to fix something. So that's kind of why we did that. So I'm going to cut this one off now. It was great talking to you guys. It was only 10 minutes long, but this story is going to take a little while. And I'm going to jump back in. I'm going to talk about more stuff. I just want to get these little snippets out so that we can talk and I can continue to learn to be more open and more vulnerable with you guys. So I'm going to take some more notes, talk more about why I actually am quitting or quit. It's not only about getting sick, it's also about getting healthy. It's also about feeling better. It's also about that mental space. When I was drinking a lot, you look back and you're like, man, I wasted so much time and money on things and people that didn't actually give a shit, not about me or not about anything else. That's not a good feeling, to be honest with you. That's kind of a shitty feeling because you don't notice it till you're outside the bubble. And that bubble's hard to get out of sometimes. So just lots and lots of self-awareness that come with all this. I started journaling, which is awesome. That definitely has helped a lot. But the overall was starting to feel better, starting to get better, starting to want better, saving money. It definitely, like, all that stuff helps, and it's definitely noticeable. But once an addict, always an addict. If anyone's listening to this and they're also struggling with addictions of any type, whether, no matter what it is, you're going to find something to replace it. My something was, of course, the gym and eating healthy and trying to take better care of myself. And from that, actually ran into lots more problems. I mean, problems with my stomach and problems with different things going on. So it ain't one thing, it's the other. It's just all about how we interpret the situations, our perspective on the situation, the acceptance of said situation. There's so many different avenues and things. So we'll talk more about that. I'm gonna go into talking about my hands a little bit. I'm gonna continue to go through my pictures and figure out kind of what I was doing next. I remember I went and seen Hardy and Brantley Gilbert in the first 6 weeks of being sober. I remember being at the Hardy concert with my brother and some friends. And it just, I was super high because I was still smoking weed. I was just super zoned out, and I still to that time couldn't get my anxiety under control, which, come to find out, had a lot to do with weed, smoking weed and not having my anxiety under control. But that being said, now we're a lot better. So I remember going to see Brantley Gilbert with my mom. That was pretty fun. It was kind of weird because my daughter was there with my ex-wife. We weren't sitting or anything together, but I really wish that it would have been me and my daughter, not me and my mom. That was a cool concert, though. I've seen BG 3 times now, so which is pretty cool. The fireworks that year were awesome. BB, my youngest daughter, she was just starting to bloom, just starting to light up. I mean, everything she did and everything she does was just super into being happy, which she's still like that to this day, which is great. So hand issues, from working at the drive-thru and stuff, being outside in the weather, things like that, smoking cigarettes, chewing tobacco, smoking weed, just getting sober was the first part, getting sober from alcohol. That was like part 1 out of 1,000 different parts. I mean, before this, I remember that winter, before I got sober, I was bartending. I got a bar across the street, and literally, like, we'd get every single night, I'd get off work and get fucking hammered while I was counting money and cleaning up and stuff. I know a lot of people do that, which is cool, but it's cool for them. But at the same time, it's not. There's a lot of things I neglected, a lot of things that I should have done better. And now I have that opportunity to, because I'm sober. So I'm going to cut this one short. It's only 14 minutes. I definitely like learning, being vulnerable with you guys and kind of going this route. So I'm going to continue to do the video podcasts and all that. It's going to be a little bit different from this point on, but we're going to keep moving with it, rolling with it. And I'm just really looking forward to getting this out there and continuing to talk to everyone. So again, if you have any comments, if you want to know anything, shoot me a message, shoot me an email, get on my website, wisezendragon.com. Oh, my package just came. I ordered a book, The Gap and the Gain. I listened to it on audio, but I wanted the book so I could do the journal prompts and stuff, so I could actually go through and highlight things and write stuff down. So I'm pretty excited about that. So I'm going to go grab that real quick. Go to my website, wise, W-I-S-E, zen, Z-E-N, dragon.com. Sign up. Newsletters every Wednesday. Blog posts, all my blog posts on the website and they're on Medium. Feel free to check them out. I like to write about everything from couples and relationship goals to self-awareness and gratitude. A little bit of everything. I try to write 2 or 3 blog posts a week. We're going to shoot to upload podcasts 2-3 times a week. So just a lot of uploading, a lot of things going on. New Year starting. I also, in my store, have digital products for building habits and things like that. Gratitude journals, things that I'm working on. So go check it out. Go check everything out. Sign up, email me, ask me any questions. I look forward to talking to you guys and expect another episode here, I don't know, within 48, 72 hours. Later.